Have you ever felt a pull so strong, so undeniable, that it blurred the line between love and something darker? A yearning that whispers promises of ecstatic union, yet simultaneously claws at your insides with a disquieting hunger. We've all tasted desire, that sweet nectar of attraction. But what happens when that sweetness ferments, turning intoxicatingly bitter? What happens when the object of our affection becomes an obsession, a phantom limb we can't bear to live without? Perhaps you recognize the tremor in your own heart, the constant checking of their online status, the replaying of past conversations, the fantasies woven so vividly they eclipse reality. Maybe you've dismissed it as simple infatuation, a harmless crush, but deep down, a nagging voice whispers a different story, a story of control, of fear, of a desperate need to possess that transcends genuine connection. Tonight, we delve into the shadowed corners of the human heart, where desire morphs into obsession and love becomes a twisted reflection of its truest self. We'll navigate the labyrinthine corridors of the unconscious mind, guided by ancient wisdom and the stark realities of human psychology. Prepare to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself, about the nature of attraction, and about the hidden forces that shape our most intimate relationships. This isn't a tale of fairy tale romance or easy solutions. It's a descent into the depths, a confrontation with the shadow self that lurks within us all. Are you brave enough to look, to acknowledge the potential for darkness that resides even in the purest of intentions, to unravel the threads of obsession before they bind you or someone you love in a web of emotional captivity? We'll explore the subtle signs, the insidious whispers that mark the transition from healthy desire to unhealthy fixation. We'll unearth the roots of this compulsion, tracing its tendrils back to childhood wounds, unmet needs, and the primal fears that haunt our waking dreams. We'll examine the psychological mechanisms at play, the projection, the idealization, the desperate clinging to an illusion of perfection. But this isn't just an intellectual exercise. This is a journey of self-discovery, a chance to reclaim your power and rewrite the narrative of your love life, to break free from the chains of obsession and embrace a love that is truly free, a love that nourishes, empowers, and elevates, rather than suffocates and consumes. So, take a deep breath, settle into the shadows, and prepare to confront the hidden psychology of love. The truth may be unsettling, but it is also liberating, and in the darkness, we may just find the light. We need to navigate our way back to ourselves. Are you ready to begin? Because what we are about to uncover may change everything you thought you knew about love, desire, and the human heart. Now, let's examine the architecture of the obsessive mind. Beyond the surface-level behaviors, what unseen forces propel this relentless pursuit? Often, at its core lies a profound sense of lack, a gaping void that the individual desperately attempts to fill with the idealized image of another. This isn't about genuine appreciation of the other person's qualities. Rather, it's about projecting one's own unmet needs and desires onto them, transforming them into a symbolic representation of wholeness. Imagine a parched traveler in a desert, hallucinating an oasis. The oasis isn't real, but the traveler's desperate need for water makes them see it, believe in it, and chase after it with unwavering determination. Compounding this sense of lack is frequently an underdeveloped sense of self. Individuals prone to obsession often struggle with establishing clear boundaries, defining their own values, and asserting their independence. They may have grown up in environments where their needs were consistently dismissed or invalidated, leading them to believe that their worth is contingent upon external validation. Consequently, they latch onto the object of their affection as a means of defining themselves, their identity becoming intertwined with the other person's presence and approval. Consider a vine clinging to a sturdy oak. Without the oak to support it, the vine struggles to stand upright, its very existence threatened. Another crucial layer is the role of fantasy and imagination. The obsessive mind thrives on creating elaborate scenarios, meticulously crafting a narrative of perfect love and unwavering devotion. These fantasies often bear little resemblance to reality, fueled by idealized perceptions and selective attention. Any evidence that contradicts the fantasy is dismissed or reinterpreted to fit the pre-existing narrative. Think of an artist meticulously painting a portrait, selectively highlighting certain features while ignoring imperfections. The final product is a beautiful, yet ultimately distorted, representation of the subject. Furthermore, the obsessive cycle is often reinforced by intermittent reinforcement, just as a gambler keeps pulling the lever on a slot machine, hoping for a big win. The individual experiencing obsession clings to the hope of reciprocation, even in the face of rejection or indifference. A single text message, a fleeting smile, or a chance encounter can be enough to reignite the flames of desire and perpetuate the cycle. This unpredictable pattern of reward and punishment creates a powerful addiction, making it increasingly difficult to break free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors. However, it's essential to recognize that obsession isn't always a conscious choice. In many cases, it stems from deep-seated emotional wounds and unconscious patterns that operate beneath the level of awareness. Addressing these underlying issues requires a willingness to confront one's own vulnerabilities, to challenge ingrained beliefs, and to embark on a journey of self-discovery. This is not a simple task. It requires courage, patience, and a commitment to personal growth. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to perceive the intricate dance between our deepest vulnerabilities and the captivating allure of another. It's as though we've been navigating a hall of mirrors, each reflection subtly distorting the truth, magnifying our hopes while simultaneously obscuring the potential for harm. The yearning for connection, a fundamental human desire, can, under certain conditions, become a potent catalyst for self-deception, leading us down paths paved with illusion and unsustainable expectations. We've seen how the unacknowledged parts of ourselves, the shadows we often try to suppress, can exert a powerful influence on our choices, subtly steering us toward relationships that mirror our unresolved inner conflicts. It's akin to a compass drawn toward a magnetic anomaly, pulling us off course even as we believe we're heading in the right direction. The pursuit of love, in this context, becomes less about genuine connection and more about a desperate attempt to mend the fractured pieces of our own being. Consider the cumulative weight of these insights. They paint a picture not of blame or judgment, but of profound human complexity. We are, each of us, navigating a world filled with both beauty and peril, constantly seeking solace and validation in the eyes of others. But what happens when that search becomes an all-consuming quest? When the need for external affirmation eclipses the importance of inner wholeness? Drawing these strands together, we see the emergence of a critical truth, that authentic love cannot blossom in the soil of insecurity and unmet needs. It requires a foundation of self-acceptance, a willingness to embrace our imperfections, and a recognition that our worth is inherent, not contingent upon the affections of another. Only then can we approach relationships with a sense of groundedness and clarity, free from the distorting lens of obsession. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, though not necessarily easier. It demands a willingness to confront our own shadows, to dismantle the illusions we've constructed, and to cultivate a deeper sense of self-compassion. This is not a journey for the faint of heart, but it is a journey that promises liberation, a chance to break free from the chains of obsession and embrace a love that is truly transformative. As we pivot towards the final reflection, let us carry with us the understanding that love is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous process of growth and self-discovery. It is a dance of vulnerability and strength, of giving and receiving, of allowing ourselves to be seen and loved for who we truly are, flaws and all. And it is a journey best undertaken with open eyes, a courageous heart, and an unwavering commitment to truth. So, where does this leave us? Standing at the edge of this shadowed landscape we've explored together, we've peered into the distorted reflections of desire, traced the tangled roots of obsession, and acknowledged the potent, often unconscious, forces that shape our intimate connections. But knowledge alone is not enough. True transformation lies not merely in understanding the mechanics of obsession, but in actively choosing a different path, a path illuminated by self-awareness and guided by the unwavering compass of self-respect. The core message, distilled to its essence, is this: love, in its purest form, is not a transaction. It is not a desperate attempt to fill a void, to complete an incomplete self. It is a radiant overflow, a generous offering that springs forth from a wellspring of inner wholeness. It thrives on mutual respect, on the freedom to be oneself, and on the willingness to embrace vulnerability without fear of exploitation. Obsession, on the other hand, is a counterfeit, a gilded cage disguised as a sanctuary. It promises security, but delivers only confinement, stifling growth and eroding the very foundations of authentic connection. The implication of this understanding extends far beyond the realm of romantic relationships. It touches upon every facet of our lives, from our career aspiration to our material possessions, from our social connections to our spiritual pursuits. For the seeds of obsession can take root in any area where we seek external validation, where we place our sense of worth in the hands of forces beyond our control. The pursuit of success, the accumulation of wealth, the craving for social approval, all can become insidious traps if they are driven by a desperate need to fill an inner emptiness. Therefore, the true work begins not with seeking the perfect partner, but with cultivating the perfect self. It begins with turning inward, with confronting our shadows, with acknowledging our vulnerabilities, and with embracing our imperfections. It begins with building a solid foundation of self-love, a foundation that cannot be shaken by the winds of external circumstances or the fickle affections of others. This is not a passive endeavor. It requires active self-compassion, relentless self-inquiry, and a willingness to challenge the ingrained beliefs that no longer serve us. As you step forward from this moment, I encourage you to carry this awareness with you, not as a burden, but as a guiding light. Observe your own patterns of desire, your own tendencies towards fixation. Ask yourself, am I seeking connection, or am I seeking completion? Am I offering love, or am I demanding it? Am I embracing vulnerability, or am I clinging to control? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are essential for navigating the complexities of human relationships with integrity and grace. And remember, the journey towards self-discovery is a lifelong endeavor. There will be moments of clarity, moments of confusion, moments of triumph, and moments of setback. But through it all, hold fast to the knowledge that you are worthy of love, not because of what you can offer another, but because of who you are in your entirety. Flaws and all, embrace the shadows, for they hold the keys to your deepest strengths. Cultivate self-compassion, for it is the antidote to self-destructs, and trust in the power of your own inner wisdom to guide you towards a love that is truly free, a love that nourishes, empowers, and elevates, rather than suffocates and consumes. The heart, untamed, seeks its own eclipse. The true practice begins now.